Marshall and Geek Nation. You can check it out on Facebook, Twitter, and geeknation.com. The beautiful and talented Claire Kramer. Claire, come on up.
Welcome, you guys. I know everyone's here to see Chris Hemsworth, so let's not delay. We only have a short amount of time to enjoy his company. Please welcome Mr. Chris Hemsworth.
Thanks everybody for coming out here. I know a lot of people have come from, I've met someone who came from Germany, and someone from London, and the rest of you from wherever. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Thank you. I have, this is my first time, so nice welcoming.
The camera does not want to focus.
I personally am a huge fan, love doing adventures, cabin in the woods. I have a ton of questions for you, but I know everyone here has also gathered. They've been waiting patiently. They are very excited to ask you some questions. So I will not be selfish with my questions. I'll turn it over to this gentleman at the mic right here.
How's it going?
Good, thank you.
Since technically you were captain of a starship for 12 minutes, did you try and make your case to get on the panel later?
Yeah, they couldn't get me a ticket. I tried. I had to sneak in the back and demand my way in there. I said to JJ, I said, put me in the movie. I haven't heard back from him, so. I said, you can, we can't do that.
All right, let's go over here.
Good afternoon. I'm reasonably sure that you've probably at least seen a bit of the script for Thor 2. Is there anything you can kind of even just vaguely hint at that we can expect that we haven't heard of yet?
I honestly haven't seen the script. I know that Alan Taylor is directing. I've had a few conversations with him, and if you've seen the Game of Thrones series, it has such a but it has that mythical sort of element that Thor has, but there's such an organic reality, and you know, a lot of real locations as opposed to green screens and sets, and I think that is certainly something that they want to do with the sequel is make Asgard more livable, tangible.
Cool, thanks.
Is Josh writing the sequel?
No. There's been a few different people, and I'm not sure who's doing it at the moment.
Everybody's getting their hand in the script.
Yeah.
After the success of the first one. Yes.
Hi. So, playing Thor, being a god of thunder, did you find that there was any challenges in making a god relatable to the audience? Because I remember me and my friends were talking about that could have been a big challenge to the movie, having an audience member feel like they can relate to a god.
Yeah, absolutely, especially considering that the character begins with, it's kind of the opposite to the normal superhero, you know, the way they're constructed. And he doesn't sort of earn his powers through the film or begin as a normal man. He's already a god. And in fact, it's quite the opposite. We have to sort of break him down and build him back up. And Kenneth Branagh, you know, just kept saying to me, let's just make it truthful, make it real. It's you talking to your brother, or it's you talking to your father. Don't try and play a god. You know, the costumes and the sets and everything else around us did that for us. For us, it was about, I think, simplifying it and humanising it, as you say. Yeah.
Thank you. It was incredible.
Thank you.
All right. You, ma'am?
Hi. It's my birthday. I want to hug.
Happy birthday.
Can I have a hug, please?
It's what?
Can I have a hug, please? It's my birthday.
Sure. Everybody can have the hug.
Wow. All right. Happy birthday. Yes, ma'am.
Cabin in the Woods was the best horror movie I've seen in years. If you had to choose one of the dozens of creatures in that movie to actually go up against, who would you choose and why?
As me or as Thor? If it was me, I'd try and find the least threatening one in there. Probably the small zombie-like girl. If I was Thor, then I'd to try and take on a bunch of them. You know, I don't know, the merman or the unicorn, which you see kind of spearing people through the stomach. Every one of those animals, those creatures, I remember reading the script and thinking, how are they going to pull that off? And, well, you know, and that moment when the elevator doors, bing, and then every angle, there's every creature you see, and every different sort of story or horror film is just incredible. The buckets of blood and gore and guts. It's an impressive scene.
So that was your first reaction when you read the script, was how is this going to
how are they going to pull it off?
Yeah.
And what is going on? I don't know, a lot of you understood the ending there, but you have to watch it a few times to really sort of work out what's happened. And my character had died by that point, so I didn't have much care for that actually. So I was able to go, oh, I don't need to explain that, I wasn't there.
All right, over here.
Hi, being that you played a variety of roles such as Thor, father to Captain Kirk, and so forth, which has been your favorite character, and also what would be your dream role to play?
Tough question. I mean, I love them all, you know, and obviously Thor's still going. The Star Trek is special because it was really kind of my introduction into, you know, the business, and to be honest, when I shot that, I got cast on Friday afternoon and I started shooting Monday. I didn't have much time to understand or, you know, really what I was part of, and then, which is probably a good thing. I would have been pretty intimidated. And then once that came out, just, you know, the following that took off, and, you know, the previous fans loved it, and then it found a whole new audience. That was really special to be a part of, especially, as I said, because it was the beginning. But, you know, every sort of version of Thor and you know, now into the sequel, I look forward to, you know, new challenges and making sure that the character keeps evolving in some ways, keeps having conflict, doesn't just become the hero and boring. You know, I love the first one, how he was flawed, he had issues he had to work through, and hopefully there's more of that.
All right. Ma'am?
Hi, Chris, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to let you know that I'm a really big fan of Thor, and your movie was awesome.
Thank you.
I mean, I would watch it every day, time and night, every day. And you're gorgeous, and I love you.
You too, thank you. That's it, that's good, I like that, thank you. Lauren.
All right, how about you?
Hi. First of all, congratulations on your recent paternity.
Thank you.
Moving forward in your development of Thor as a character, do you think your new role as a father will help you empathize more with Odin?
Yeah, maybe. It should be. I mean, someone else writes the script and, you know, makes the decisions on how my character reacts, but yeah, sure, I'm sure it'll have some effect. I mean, that's too complicated.
Your personal life always ends up influencing your work a little bit, would you say?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, yeah, I now have a child of my own, so I should be able to, you know, understand the parent relationship. But for Thor, he doesn't have a kid, so I guess I can't play into it too much. You know, I have to still be a childless character for the time being. Yeah. But who knows? I might have a little kid one day, a little demigod child.
Yes?
Hi, Chris. My favorite scene in The Avengers is definitely when you fight the Hulk. I'm just curious what went into filming a scene where you fight a CGI monster.
It was tough. I mean, a lot of the time was basically me with the harness on, just getting ratcheted into the wall, and now you have to throw yourself on the ground. And I was like, I'm not doing too well in this fight. It's becoming rather painful, and then we had the nice big uppercut, which was, I was thankful we had that. Yeah, a lot of the time I was having to pretend. It was like being a kid in the backyard, swinging a stick around. And then, you know, watching it come together, and you know, that CGI creature in there was just, it was so impressive. You know, it looked like someone was there fighting, but it'd be funny to see some of the outtakes without that me sort of shadow boxing the air. You know.
When you first saw the screening of the film, did you realize the enormity it was going to have?
Yeah, I saw it actually. It was in LA for the premiere, and with a huge big audience, and just you feel everyone's fingers crossed, wanting it to be good and hoping, and then but everyone started cheering at the right moment. So from the get-go, every character that was introduced was a big sort of uproar, and it was awesome.
That's great. Yes.
Chris, first of all, thank you. I'm sure I'm not alone in this. Thanks for being the voice of Comic Thor in my head now because I can't read it without hearing you.
Sure. Just give me a call and I'll read it for you. You're having trouble sleeping, though.
Going forward, when you start looking at more movie roles, do you see yourself going for more of the action man kind of thing, or more like laid back, like Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah, I'd like to. I mean, I've kind of fulfilled that any action desire with Thor and even with Snow White and the Huntsman. So I need to do something else. I think for my. It just personally, it's been great, but I did a film recently with Ron Howard that was nice to play, just a human being, very grounded in reality, and there were no weapons. It was previously it was a hammer or an axe. That was a prerequisite for me working. It's going to be a spoon next. It'll be a romantic comedy, some cooking show or something.
How heavy was the actual hammer?
It was pretty heavy, yeah, and we had to be pretty careful with it because it was, with the stunt scenes, when you're fighting people, that you take someone's head off. So
that's not good.
And we didn't want to do that.
All right, yes, over here.
Hello. I'm a really big fan of the Avengers that I saw a couple of weeks ago. And today when I came here, I heard about the question and answer, and I just wanted to wonder, who is your favorite Avenger besides yourself?
I mean, Iron Man kind of started all of it, and so Robert Downey, sort of is the godfather, I think, of the Marvel world for all of us on that set. He kicked it all off and led the charge. I loved what Mark Ruffalo did with the Hulk. I think that was my favourite. One of my favourite characters, watching what he did, and just those sequences, with Thor and Hulk fighting, especially when he backhands Thor through the wall. I remember reading that, and on the page it said, "And Hulk smashes Thor in his big Norse face." Cool.
All right. How about you?
Hi. I was just hoping that you could speak to us a little bit about what it was like working with Joss.
So Joss wrote Cabin in the Woods with Drew Goddard, who directed it, and but Joss was, he wasn't directing Cabin, but he was on set all the time and right in there with, input and what have you. But it's just like the work you see, whether it's Cabin in the Woods or Buffy or Avengers, there's just that great sense of humour and lightness to the characters, yet they're always far more sort of interesting and complicated, and there's a whole lot going on underneath it all. That's what's so good about it. You can have that sort of 1-2 gag and what have you, but you look closer and there's often a pretty strong message under there. So he's highly intelligent, witty and funny, and Avengers was much different to working with Kenneth Branagh. That was a constant sort of actor-director discussion about character, and Joss is like a fan, he'd be like, cool, that's awesome, next shot. That was a lot of fun to be able to work with.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Did Joss write in the shawarma theme, or was that?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
We arrived in LA for the premiere, and I said, just quickly, we've got one thing we want to shoot with all of you tomorrow. And I've lost like 30 pounds, costume's not even going to fit me. It's okay, just going to hunch over and we'll pull the wig down a bit, pump up the suit. But it was a very last minute thing. I haven't actually seen it yet. So,
it's amazing.
I see you.
Yes.
Hi, Chris. I was wondering, how did working on the Avengers differ from working on Thor? Was it easier to play the character as part of a team or as a solo effort?
There's a couple of things. Thor was obviously Thor's journey, you know, so which is great because you get all the attention with the director, and it's a lot more kind of just you and him, detail for rehearsal and discussion, and you really know what you're doing, your through line. But it's also nerve-wracking because you're carrying the thing on your shoulders. It was nice to walk into Avengers and have that responsibility shared among those guys, but also intimidating because it's Robert Downey and Sam Jackson and a bunch of people who have admired for years. So sort of there were similarities and through it, but the different directors, certainly different process, but both. I've never played the same character with two different directors, and it's interesting how the character does change according to that. But a lot of fun both times.
Yes, over here.
Hi Chris, how you doing? First of all, thank you for taking the time to do this I know you're very busy with your new baby girl and obviously, all the movie roles you've done, and since you brought Thor to life, which people thought would be, everyone was curious about, like how that would work, and you did it. Is there any other characters that you would like to bring to life to the screen? It doesn't have to be a comic book character, just anyone that you've ever been a fan of that you'd like to see a movie?
The film I just did with Ron Howard is based on a guy, James Hunt, who was a Formula One race car driver in the 70s, and that was exciting. I was a fan of that guy just because Formula One is not very popular in this country. It's, I think, the biggest sport, in Europe, but it's never sort of taken off here. And so we, I think, enjoyed the challenge. But also in the 70s, it was like, 4 or 5 people were dying a year in racing in these cars, and they were like gladiators, and highly, adrenaline-fueled, dangerous sort of world. And this character in particular, James, was this, very visceral, had an animalistic kind of approach to life and to racing, and all fueled from the gut, and a fascinating guy, and that was sort of a dream to take that and then bring it to the screen.
Well, congratulations on that, and I look forward to seeing that. So
thank you.
You're great.
Yeah.
Look forward to Thor too.
Yes.
Hi. My question was actually already answered, so I have a minor request, if that's okay.
Sure.
Like
my
sister. What?
No, it's a kiss. Yes.
Whoa. My sister is a big fan of yours.
She wants a kiss.
But she couldn't be here today, and she loved you in Star Trek and Thor and stuff. And she recently just got accepted to an awesome college. She's graduating this year. She's majoring in something that I didn't even know existed. So our whole family's really proud of her. And I just think if you wouldn't mind just saying happy graduation, Sydney, my sister.
Sure.
Yeah, I got a video.
Is she here?
No, I'm not showing the video.
He's got a video.
Oh, right. Ready?
Yep.
Happy graduation, Sydney.
All right, how about you?
Chris!
Yeah!
Yeah, man! You pulled off a pretty cool Thor, man. I like that. I really think you did a wonderful job.
Very much. I wouldn't want to see you disappointed. I'm glad.
Yeah! I was wondering, you did come up with great Thor, and I was wondering, since you did you had to go to Comic-Con and stuff like this, before you became an actor, and you got into comics and stuff like this, did you have an interest or have you thought of comic books as a kid?
Not so much comic books. I loved sort of films with big characters and fantastical universes and heightened realities. And I read The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings and fantasy novels. That I think kicked off my imagination very early on, and then led into just an appreciation for this. I wish I'd discovered comic books earlier, because I feel like I'm playing catch up constantly to look into the world that's so rich and detailed. But it was never sort of in my circles. It is now.
Thank you very much. Keep doing wonderful work.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
happen on set during Avengers?
The funniest thing, on the spot, I mean, there's a constant sort of like costume malfunctions, which, you know, you see the movie and everyone looks very cool and heroic, and you know, and then you're doing a scene with Loki and one of his horns have fallen off. It's like, wait, stop, you know, glue it back on. It's like, literally, I was like, oh, this is not cool. That's always pretty funny. I mean, me and Tom had a lot of fun, you know, on Thor and Avengers. It just, most of our stuff was always together, and especially our fight scenes kind of would start off great, and we'd both get a little too hyped up, and he'd end up smashing in the head with a spear, or, you know, I think I elbowed him in the nose at one point. It was kind of an accident, but he started it. It's funny trying to fight, like, the hammer's like this long, and he's got this massive spear, and we're trying to fight like you would with a sword, so it's like, this is the section he has to hit exactly, otherwise he hits my hand. And like 7 times out of 10, it was my hand he was hitting. But no, that was pretty fun. For him.
And Claire, who would win in a fight, Thor or Glory?
So again?
Who would win in a fight, Thor or Glory?
Oh, wow.
It's an even match.
I think she'd win.
I lost my hammer. All right, yes.
Real quick, I just wanted to say that as many women can agree, thank you for making Thor look so gorgeous.
I thank my parents for that. That put me together.
But my question was, like in the first movie, Thor, what was it like working with Anthony Hopkins? He's like also one of my favorite actors.
That was the highlight of my career, my life. You know, he's always been a big hero to me, and these people like that you just can't help but absorb and learn from. And absolutely no ego with him. You know, someone who everybody on set kind of wants to bow to, or you know, just because he's a god. You know, and always, you know, there with advice if needed, and just such an appreciation for the business, you know, like even however many films later, and you know, has been in the industry for this long, he still loves making films, and that's infectious to be around.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Hi Chris, how are you?
I'm well, mate. Thank you.
Good. I just have one thing to say. I just wanted to congratulate you on the birth of your daughter, India.
Oh, thank you.
And I would also like to thank you because I've always wanted to meet you, and thank you for making not just my day special, but for everyone else in this room too.
Thanks, bro.
Okay, yes. In the cap over here. It's all you.
Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Kato says hi.
Okay, oh, that's it. Yeah, right there. Yeah, good work. Nice costume.
Thank you, sir. And obviously, you know Kato would win against Thor, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. If Thor was asleep.
I have to agree. My wife and I are big fans, obviously. Thank you. I think the first Thor was absolutely fantastic. Sharing the limelight with the other Avengers obviously took away from Thor, but hopefully we see you again in a sequel to Thor itself.
Yeah.
My question being is, how physical was the first Thor?
It was really physical. A lot of the time was spent working out and trying to keep that weight, put on the weight. You know, the thing about Thor also was a lot of those fight sequences in the hospital and then at the SHIELD camp were Thor without his powers, so it was just us in the mud and kind of even more physical actually than when Thor's Thor, because that's a lot of sort of wire work and the hammer and whatever. This was well, you know, hand-to-hand combat, and it was great, but exhausting. You know.
That's what I wondered, how tiring it was. Sir, thank you for gracing us with your presence at Philadelphia Comic Con!
When you were learning the fight sequences for Thor, did you actually have separate time to rehearse them, or did you just learn them as you were filming?
A bit of both. I mean, we had a couple of weeks of reverse equation. Yeah. And when you make a mistake, you get hit in the head. You don't just fail class. But yeah.
Okay, yes, sir.
Hello.
So first, I just want to point out that here in Philly, it's been very hot and humid. But all of a sudden, the god of Thor comes by and starts raining and possible thunderstorms. Thank you very much for that.
It looks a bit dry.
So I just wanted to ask you, I mean, at least to me, before I didn't know you as an actor, kind of like I didn't know who you were. But then with all these like new rules and like Thor and everything, like you became a household name. Like every other meme I read is you. So I just want to ask, like, can you give a little background on how you started and just kind of how it was like for you?
Yeah, when I finished high school, I went and did a couple of drama courses and just kind of fell in love with acting and then did a couple of TV shows and did a soap opera for 3 years in Australia, which was some of the best training I could have had. It was like 20 scenes a day and 5 episodes a week with scripts that weren't that good a lot of the time, so you've got to work even harder, and it's the kind of thing you're thrown in the deep end and you sink or swim, and according to, you really have to work. And then you get to a film set, you've got scripts that have been worked on for years and millions of dollars put in, and it takes 3 days to shoot one scene and all this time and support. So that was really my sort of foundation doing that show, and for soap operas, you often sort of get pushed aside as they're soaps, they're easy or what have you. But I found that was the hardest thing, and most people I think have done that have far more or appreciation for it than previous.
Well, once again, dude, you rock, and
Thanks,
I expect a picture and an autograph later.
All right, thank you.
Okay, yes.
Hemsworth.
Hello.
My name's Henry.
Hi, Mr. Henry. How are you?
What was your favorite superhero when you grew up?
Probably Superman. It was a couple of bands. I mean, Batman? I mean, Batman and Superman were kind of the most prominent, I think, growing up, and the ones I knew the most about. So both of them. How about you? Who's your favourite?
Hi, Chris. So my question was already answered, but I have a request. It may not be my birthday, but can I have a hug?
We'll start a line in a second, can't you? This is a tricky hug environment.
Damn, she stole my line. I just had a photo op with you, and actually the photo op was my birthday present for my family.
Oh, right. Happy birthday.
No lie, no joke. I also don't want to be redundant, but I think I speak for the women of the planet. When they're equally thankful that you are supernaturally hot. And all the policies that you provided for all the women of the planet, I'm just representing. But I also, thank you. I also wanted to ask you, I know you've been a surfer, and I was wondering, because I've known a bunch of surfers in my time, and it can be very intense and spiritual and all that stuff. I was just wondering if there's any way specifically that you feel like being a surfer has affected your acting career, or you as an actor, or informed you as an actor.
I think anything that, any sort of sport or hobby or anything you do that you love and have, are passionate about, just it helps you grow as a person. Sure, if I was stressed about something at work, and that was surfing was, growing up, what I'd go and do, which would, get rid of that for me. Yeah, definitely. I had this. was a guy for Thor who helped us. He was a movement guy, and he helped with sort of Thor, and he was talking about the energy of him and in the fight sequences, and he kept saying, "Oh, you surf, think of that sort of stance." You know, you look at the comic books, and he does have that sort of posture, and so funny enough, there was a bit of a connection.
That's great. Do you have much time to surf in LA?
If I'm not working, yeah, but I've been in London for a while, and there's no surf there.
Certainly not.
If I run really fast, can I get a birthday note? Run on stage.
I walked where I started. I can't say no. You have to dive up on here. Quick, next question.
All right, run. We only have, unfortunately, a few minutes left, so we'll try to power through as many questions as we can. How about you?
Does Thor have any other brothers that went to destroy Earth?
Not that I know of. Someone I'm sure knows the comic books a lot better than I do, is there? Boulder. Yeah, it's a half brother, though, isn't it? Isn't Boulder his half brother? I don't know if he tries. Yeah, does he try unlike me? No, I'm going to give him a call and ask him about that. Spoiler, yeah, stop that. Sure. I have a couple of brothers that are trying to destroy the Earth, though.
They're adopted?
Well, I'm not supposed to tell them, but yes.
All right, how about you?
Hi, so we all saw your relationship with Loki, Thor's relationship with Loki, and how complicated of a relationship that is. And I guess anyone who has a brother, like myself, knows that those kinds of relationships can get pretty crazy, but how did you did you take any of like your relationship with your brothers and kind of bring that over to your relationship with Tom and Loki?
Yeah, we're growing up when they would attempt to take over the universe. I would often say that's silly, you know. That's impossible. I guess I've disagreed with my brothers before, and you know we're all three of us are pretty passionate and certainly have an opinion, and that helped. You know, that helped me find the truth in. You know, it's like, especially in Avengers, there was that real quality of, look, I can punch my brother and tell him off, but no one else can, you know, and that was kind of Thor, was like, you know, I'm going to sort him out, you step back.
Thank you. All right, this unfortunately is going to be our last question over here. Make it a good one, no pressure. Oh. Someone want to lift her up? There we go.
How does it feel to be Thor?
How does it feel to be Thor? This is a good note to end.
Awesome. Yeah, it was fantastic. You know, it was nerve-wracking at the beginning, just because it was a character people love so much and had been around for so long. And, you know, a lot of people knew a lot more about it than I did. So I had to do a lot of research, but once I got on set, it was the first day being in full costume and seeing Anthony Hopkins, and we both looked at each other and he said, "No acting required here." look at his costume, we don't want to get in the way. And it was just so much fun, you know, it is like being a kid, you know, and playing a really expensive version of dress-ups. You know, and especially having it, you know, people loved it, and then taking it into Avengers it's been a dream.
In Avengers, filming the scene where you came down in the capsule to Earth and you were fighting to get out, how was that filmed?
That was really painful. Honestly, we had this, the big capsule basically, and it was on like hydraulics, and it would just kind of alternate like back and forth. And so a couple of times I'd just be in there and they're like, "And action!" I'd just toss around the thing, and then other times I'd have a cable in there and they'd have this whole sort of rig set up, wires and things, where the same thing, they'd rotate it fully here and then sit me across to the wall, and I just went thinking, so that looks chaotic, it feels chaotic, and that scene that looks that way.
It's an amazing scene.
Yeah, the stunt guys that kind of rigged together these wires in this glass box was it's really impressive.
Well, I can't thank you guys enough for coming, and Chris, we can't thank you.
Yeah, thank you all very much for coming.
Thank you.